So looking at drug abuse in Nigeria, and I have a guest from Psychiatric Hospital, Iyaba. His name is Niyi Fadaunsi, a psychiatrist. So he'll be enlightening us. Welcome. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Please, we want to actually look at these whole issues of drug abuse in Nigeria. And I think we need to have a brief explanation of what we should know on drug abuse among Nigeria's youth.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. Drug abuse is becoming a major problem in Nigeria. And by becoming, I mean people are starting to take notice of it. Okay. In the sense that it has actually been a problem for a long time. Okay. But now it's becoming more prominent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So now why and how did people get into drugs in the first place? Because you said, although the problem has been existing before now, and it wasn't as rampant as what we are seeing right now.
Let me try to explain to viewers what abuse actually really means.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
You have use, you have abuse, and you have addiction. So people tend to mix them up. Yeah. Use is basically just taking it once in a while. Okay. For example, someone drinks alcohol when he only goes to parties. Then you have abuse when you start taking it too much. So someone drinks alcohol every day, every morning, or that kind of thing. Then you have the level of addiction, where the person would rather take the alcohol than go to work. Wow. You understand? When the person must drink his alcohol before he even brushes his teeth. That's the level of addiction. So you have use, you have abuse, you have addiction. So what you have amongst our youths in Nigeria, you have ranging from use to abuse to some people having addiction. So what is actually causing it? Well, it depends on the drug. Okay. It depends on the culture of the person. Okay. It depends on where the person stays. Okay. For instance, we have some tribes in Nigeria where alcohol is introduced at a very young age. Wow. So, for example, some tribes in the South and some tribes in Benue State, alcohol is introduced early. Wow. Then you have some, let me even move that, in places like Europe or Asia, smoking cigarettes is introduced. It's normal there. Thing. So in those places,
are you sure they don't have reasons of doing that?
It is normal for them. Okay, it is normal. Especially, for example, where you have in Delta, where you have sapele water. It's normal. Okay, in Russia, where you have vodka, it's like water. Okay. So in those places, it's normal. So if you want to now look at it as a problem, you have to look in a community where it is not normal. So in a community where, for instance, using marijuana, cannabis, it's not normal. Yes. Why are those youths using cannabis in that situation? So the reasons will not be the same as why are the youths in Bayelsa drinking alcohol. You can't compare because there it's normal for them. Yes. So here you have some youths who want to experiment. Because this thing starts at a very young age, from 13, 14. That's part of the experimentation. Okay. Because the child has not been exposed to it at home. Okay. But he knows about it. It's not possible in this day and age to prevent a child from hearing about or seeing all these drugs being used. Yeah. So he sees it, he sees someone smoking, and they tell him it is nice, try it out. So he decides, let me try it out. So experimentation. In some cases, it's boredom. Yes. Really. Wow. Some people are just bored. They don't have anything to do. So next the results. They just said, let me just keep myself busy with this thing. Okay. So what are the causes? Yeah. So one of the major causes is the fact that these things are anywhere, everywhere. So somebody can just lay hands on it and get it. Easily available. Wow. That's one of. So you have a child who is well brought up, who has been warned to stay away, but the malam downstairs is selling tramadol. So it's not going to be easy to do that. So it's too available, then it's accessible, meaning that even if it's there and they warned him, the child can actually go there, pay, pick it up. There is no restriction. There is no law saying, hey, you are too young, go back. Get that, don't get it. In Nigeria, a 10-year-old can buy beer. in Nigeria, so far, we do not have any strict regulation policies on drugs like alcohol, drugs like cigarettes. We don't have any strict regulation policy. We have policies, especially for maybe cannabis problem.
All right, so now I want to look at, sometimes like I earlier cited, there are parents, who never tasted this thing, and their children, indirectly they are involved in it. So what are the symptoms a parent should look out for?
Okay, so the best way to look at it is, for each drug, there are different symptoms.
Okay.
So for instance, a child who suddenly changes the behavior. A child who would wake up, lay his bed, sweep his room, get dressed, suddenly doesn't want to get up, suddenly doesn't want to get dressed, suddenly doesn't want to go to school anymore. That's a sign that something is changing. A child who spends more hours outside the house, he says he's going to be with his friends but doesn't come back until very late, that's a sign. And then they start keeping secrets, start staying in their room more often, want to lock the door. You are looking for them, calling for them, where are you, where are you? And it takes a longer time for them to show up. They are hiding something, what's going on?
I see.
Sometimes they hide their clothes. They don't want the parents to wash the clothes or to see the clothes.
Yes, so
there is something, they're hiding something. And of course, academic performance is 90% of the time a child using substance, it will affect the academic performance of that child.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we'll take you to this break, but we'll come back, we'll find out the effects those acts have on the children. Do stay tuned.